So, Ian, if you could just let us know, I'm very curious about this thing. Ian, the storyteller. Where did that come from? How did that start off?
I started call myself branding coach, but along the way there are too many branding coaches out there. So, everyone would love stories, right? So as we all know, stories tend to stick in people's mind longer. And when you look into advertising, look into social media content and everything, it's all about the story that you're getting out of it. So last year onwards, I begin to have like, let's do a little bit different in terms of how I brand myself, because as a branding guy, you have this extra burden on yourself. Like people will look at you and say that, hey, you yourself do not know how to brand yourself. How can you help others, right? So this is something that I have been crafting. And early this year, this thing is finally in the market. So I tend to have more conversation when it comes to really having someone to talk about themselves. Why not look at it from a story point of view? Then you keep telling people about yourself, what you have done, blah blah blah. So boring, right? So one of the recent video that I did is a lot of us believe in telling. We thought that we are telling stories, by telling people about our mission and vision, the company and all that, right? But in fact, you're not telling a story. You're telling them history. Okay, so there's a difference here. Are you telling a story? Are you just sharing your history? History is about, talking about facts, okay? When did it start? How did we start? Blah, 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 blah. But story is about one or two little incidences, okay? What happened then that shaped the outcome of how you do business. And that will actually be more impactful. So from then on, so I've been carrying this tag for about a few months now. Still getting used to it and still publicizing the message across.
Well, that's so interesting. That speaks a lot in volumes about the passion that you have, right, for what you do. And perhaps you could extend more than, Ian, on what do you do in totality and what do you bring in terms of your strengths and your skill sets to the consultants and agency leaders, perhaps.
Correct. So I shared some story also since I'm a brand storyteller. So I used to work in Singapore a little bit when I started this company with two of my life's best friends. So we have offices in KL, in Penang, and also in Singapore. Singapore is the one near Chinatown, in Chinatown, okay? So when I was in Singapore, one of the biggest challenge that I have was how to deal with clients. Okay, so we have clients from Singpost, from Nestle, Milo, just to name a few, Zhou Changki. But my strength wasn't really communicating with clients. And I face a lot of challenges, especially when clients say that, oh, okay, Ian, I don't want to talk to you. Can you pass me to your partner? So I was like, wow, having such a big trouble. And my good partner actually tried to save the save face for the company. Like I said, hey, Ian, don't put your name as director. Put your name as executive, so you don't lose space for the company. And you know what? I accepted that.
Right.
I'm all okay with that. And this self-esteem of mine really gone from, really washed down the drain. So as I was pondering restarting everything back in 2010, so I believe that something is wrong with me. So I went on and checked with some of the clients. One of the last client that I have when I was in this last company. So we had a drink, and then I asked him, so I'm starting all over again. What is your advice for me? So this guy, his name is Kevin. So he said that, Ian, you have done some work for big brands out there, but have you thought about branding yourself? I was like, wow, that was really a slap in the face, man. So I have done branding work for these brands, and I do not know how to brand myself. So you can see how bad it was. The way that I speak to my client, my own team, the way that I carry myself, I just don't carry, that kind of a thing, Singapore company and all that. So I have to relook into myself and apply what I've learned in branding into myself, like really what is it that I'm good at? Okay, how can I define who is my real target audience, my profitable niche, and how can I constantly share the message out so that they come to me rather than, I always have to push, push marketing. But in fact, that I use my influence so they come to me. So after I've done that, things change, okay, drastically. I get to work with brands like Ferrari, Crocs, Yoast Singapore, actually, that I was my ex-client. So they actually came back and looked for me when I was hiding myself in Penang. Really, really hiding because I didn't want to let my parents know that the company has collapsed and all that.
Right.
Because my mom used to say things like this, you better take a look at your partner, I don't believe him. And true enough, I left with nothing, zero confidence, zero in terms of money, and my ex-girlfriend also left me back then. So it took me a while to really, really do some soul searching. I took up a lot of courses and all that. So after I rebranded myself, repositioned everything, then things get better. So yeah, so that's why it's so important that you need to really know, as a company, as an individual, as a financial planner, you need to know who are you actually, and what is your best value, and who is the client that you can attract to you effortlessly without having to do a lot of things. Because a lot of times we are chasing things or clients that we do not, we have no so-called prowess or ability to close. So ended up wasting a lot of time. Why don't stick to your own pond, being the biggest fish in your own pond, rather than being a small fish in this giant pond.
That's right.
So that's how we think about, yeah.
Very well said, Ian. I mean, I like that whole context where you create your own narrative, right? And you put yourself out there in where you would best excel in, right? And I guess to a certain extent, financial consultants tend to want every piece of the pie. And so they do not have like a solid narrative of where they're going towards, their niche or their clients that they want to work with. Now, you mentioned that you work with the bigger brands, right? Ferrari and all of
Exactly.
that. How is that going to be so different working with an organization of that size as opposed to working with consultants or agency leaders? How is that difference between those two, the branding initiatives or the services that would come about?
Well, basically, the concept of branding, it applies to corporations and also personnel. A very easy thing is that to understand is the idea of top of mind. Okay, knowing what is a brand and what is branded. Okay, so for example, if I were to ask you, what is the difference of you going to having a cup of these two things? Am I losing you, or is my network not very good?
Yeah, but it's fine now. Go ahead.
Yeah, did you get my question?
No, I didn't at all. I missed it.
Okay, so let me just recap. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you were to have a coffee,
Right.
would you rather go to the food court in Singapore, or would you rather go to places like Starbucks?
Again, it depends. I would choose a food court if I want to have a very different experience by myself. I want to sit down there and enjoy my morning coffee. Yes, food court. But then if it goes into getting some work done, then it's Starbucks. So the experience would be different for me.
Okay, so the second question is, which one is actually better? Can you quantify it? Which one is better?
In terms of the quality of the coffee, it is the one at the food courts at the coffee shops.
Yeah, okay. All right. Now, again, the reason why I ask this is that because these two are different brands. Okay, when I say brands, right, it's merely the experience that you're getting out of them. Okay, and there's no way that to define that whether this is the best coffee or the Starbucks one is better, because you really can't tell. Okay, but it depends on who is going there as well and what is it that you're doing there. Okay, if you want to get the local authentic flavors, of course, go to the food court, right? Then you have the little plastic thingy when you carry around. That's the social status, not the Starbucks cup that you are carrying around like you're in New York or something. So, but if you want a quieter place that you want to have a business conversation, then perhaps Starbucks is better.
Right.
So again, the idea is not really to define which one is better, but again, which one is unique to your requirement.
Right.
Just an example, if you were to, let's say now the CD, the lockdown is over, right? You might be thinking of going overseas, right? So let's say you want to go to Bangkok. If you take Air Asia, or if you take what is the local brand again? Is it Tiger Airways, right? Okay, so Tiger, if you were to go on and buy ticket from Tiger, or you go for SIA, for instance, it will still get you to the same destination, right? Bangkok. Make no mistake about it. But the experience is totally different.
Right.
Way before you bought the plane, right? Way before when you do your online searching and all that, when you do booking, the moment you bought the plane, on the on board experience, maybe they serve you drink and all that. So you still get to the same place, but the experience is totally different. So again, we need to ask ourselves, what kind of experience that you give your client over and over again for them to come back to you every single time, or to refer more clients to you, right? So it's again not about being the best person, the better person, okay, the biggest, longest, broadest, okay. It's again how unique you are and how you can really stamp your authority in that little few arena that you have crafted for your own self. So I believe branding is all about that, being different and not being the number one, but being the only one.
Very rightfully said. I can already draw these parallels to consultants, who have a lot of knowledge and skills in a particular field. For example, protection and savings, or sometimes education funding, financial planning of families for families or kids as well, right? If they were to create their own brand, and I find it very interesting when you put Ian the storyteller, right? Would financial consultants also be able to create something that resonates with them, to their need, the experience that they want to deliver to their clients and customers?
Yeah, there are definitely ways you can do it. While everyone is saying that, hey, I'm a financial planner, I'm an insurance agent, right? How can you stand out from all of them? Again, we have to really define when you ask the question, right? What is it that you do? Okay, this sounds like a very simple question, just like you ask any accountant out there, what is it that you do? Accountant will say that, I'm accountant law, you don't know me. Accountant, you don't know what I do, man. Okay, so again, I'm not asking for your title, your position, right? I'm asking for what is it that you do. Bookkeeping P&L what is it that I do? Again, I'm not asking for your job scope. I'm asking for what you do. So a better answer would be, I help company to maintain a healthy cash flow so that the company can grow every single year and make more money. Right? Isn't that what an accountant is doing? Yes. Rather than the job, the bookkeeping and all that. So if you are able to explain yourself, what is it that you do in that manner, do you think you will catch people's attention? No doubt, you still have to perform well in what you do. Not that, come up with some fancy work and then job is done. It's all about you, again, creating that particular awareness the moment you introduce yourself, and then also deliver the goods, because there's two parts to it, the promise and the delivery. You can drive a Bentley, okay, Lambo, and then tell people that you make millions doing that, but then, okay, you project like a 6-star hotel, 7-star hotel impression. Your delivery is, however, budget hotel kind of standard.
Right.
You don't do justice to what you do. So again, financial planner, there's many ways. I do see there are a lot of, some even from Singapore, they are doing quite good in terms of how they brand themselves. Let's say I just want to cater to younger group. I just want to talk about your first insurance. I just want to talk about saving, for instance. Then you focus on that, okay? So focus on that. Then have a niche, a huge following there. Then you branch out to something else, because as the first insurance buyer grow older, they can actually buy more things from you. They
Right.
have also parents, they have also siblings that haven't have any plans just yet. So you can do that, and the way you brand yourself actually will help to differentiate yourself from the rest.
Agreed, agreed. Yeah, yeah. Thank you for that, Ian. And I was also trying to get onto that note here. When consultants then focus on that niche, right, and when they look at a particular demographic of clients, let's take for example the young adults. Interesting that you said, right, that the people are going to get their first insurance policies when they start working, and this resonates well with the rookie
Mm.
financial consultants. Now, as you are aware, it's awful times, last year 2020, this year 2021. But there were many financial consultants who took that leap of faith, new financial consultants, to come into this industry. At a time like this, what can they do so differently that makes them stand apart or gives them at least a head start to move forward?
Okay, so it's a very good question. It's not just the financial planning line in terms of servicing line and all that. So the idea is that branding is slightly different than marketing. Okay, no doubt some you may get similar results. Okay, some would put it as um, the reason why they come to you to engage you is because of marketing,
Mhm.
but the reason they stay on with you is branding. Okay,
Yeah,
some phrase it this way.
right.
But sometimes it's also because of your branding, they come to you. Okay, and after that, when you do some marketing, they come back to you for
Mhm.
more. So again, I leave it to you to decide on that. But the main idea of branding is more of like a pull effect.
Mhm.
Okay,
Right.
marketing is push.
Okay.
Buy this today, then you get 50%. Buy this today, I get you free gift. Okay, very, very straightforward. But branding is more of a pull effect. You tell them what they do. You give them values. You educate them. Just like a billboard, okay? If you were to go on to any highway, you can see billboard. Just happened today, you see, not today, every day you get to see this Panasonic washing machine, okay? And it's sort of like something to brainwash you or hypnotize you. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. You get the idea. But sometimes you actually don't see it already, okay? You tend to pick up subconsciously, but your eyes just don't see it. It's become the background already. But one day, your washing machine broke down. You're like, okay, I remember there's an ad that I saw somewhere, Panasonic lah. I don't know where I see it, but now that you need to buy it, then this is the first name that I can think of.
Right.
So
Right.
similarly to financial planner, if you were to in Malaysia lah, typically lah, 5 years, 10 years, you haven't met this friend, and suddenly you give a call, hey, let's come on and yum cha. So the first thing people will say that, hey, did you just join insurance or you become an MLM agent? Okay, it's so negative. It's so negative, the perception. How can you change that around, right? So I believe that you want to project a very nice persona.
Mhm.
Use it as the billboard concept. I am here, I'm giving you values.
Right.
When you need help, I'll be the first name that pops up. Rather than I keep pushing you, and I push you away. So I believe that in this day and age, there is no reason why you cannot produce content. Okay, it is as easy as I have in my courses. I would have my agents sit down and I say that, can you do video? Okay, 50% of them say cannot lah, so shy, no, don't know how to script and all that. But I will make them do it within 1 hour, and I have a simple formula you can actually do it. So once you get the barrier broken down, right, you can actually go on produce a second and third and fourth video.
Right.
So I would believe that in this day and age, you can always, number one, produce content, not pushing, just sharing things that they don't know. For example, what can a new plan cover you in terms of COVID-19?
Right.
Is there such a plan? People may be more than happy to find out more, but you don't push it like I say that, buy this now and then you can get this. No, just sharing information. Okay, then tomorrow you talk about what are the top 5 challenges when it comes to purchasing your first insurance plan. Okay, what are the 5 benefits that you can get if you were to buy your first plan before the age 21? Stuff like this. People you don't just think about, when there's a need, I come in, because you don't brand yourself when you need to sell something. You brand yourself way before you need to sell something.
Right, right. It's more or less triggering that need and interest, right? It's always there. People know that insurance is important, but when do I need it? How much do I need?
Yeah.
And creating that impact with that knowledge or that literacy by putting it out there, again, being specific to it, not throwing it all out there, but being strategic and specific.
Yeah, I'm not pushing you today. When you need, you come to me. I have my website, I have my landing page, I have my Facebook, I have my YouTube channel, and there's so much content. So what do you think would make a difference? One person that has presence online and the other guy has no presence whatsoever. Your mom or your relative must have recommended this person, but you don't feel like you want to do business with this person, right? Very reserved, they're not, open up and tell you about what they are good at and stuff like that. So again, that gives you a better alternative, like A and B, which one you would choose. I will always think that branding gives you the extra weapons, or you can say that you're being armored up. Okay, when you go and approach a client, you know that more than 50% of the chance you manage to close, because you are selling totally different stuff, rather than always lower down your price, give more, give more, give more, and all that. So I believe that gives you an extra edge over your competitor.
This is truly amazing, Ian. To be honest with you, it's a very different perspective towards branding. Right? You know what I've seen and witnessed over the past couple of years, a lot of consultants and agency leaders have stepped forward to work with branding agencies or branding companies, and it has become sort of like how do I put it, a one-size-fits-all kind of initiative, which is obviously not true when we understand that each individual is unique, each agency as an entity, and the members in the agency are very unique. It requires a lengthy process of understanding oneself, right? Getting through that unraveling of who you are, the questions that you put out. And I really am very impressed with the way you've done it, right? It's so structured, it seems simple, right? And at the same time, it is also in a way that evokes the true emotions of a consultant or an agency leader.
Yes,
The why
yes.
behind what they are doing is very, very key.
Yeah.
I think this is the first time I've chatted with someone who has that kind of perspective. So really thank you for that, Ian. But before we end off, and there are going to be many such sessions, trust me, my friend, a lot of people are willing and waiting to hear such interesting perspectives towards branding. What would your advice be for the insurance community at large at this time, where situations are very fluctuating in terms of whether we are going to be at home or going to go towards a lockdown or things are going to open up? We never know that, right? What would your advice be to these people?
Yep. I would say top priority is that you need to be really clear about what kind of person you are. Okay, so who is your profitable niche first, of their DNA. Okay, just like Kumaran, when you do business so many years, I'm sure that you have a certain magnet, okay, to pull people towards you. Okay, so you focus on these people first. Try to find out what kind of DNA of the people that you are talking to, and sure enough, if you look into your accounts, you will see that normally a group of people are very easily attracted to you. Okay, so you have to really define what kind of people that you're serving, and also have a bigger purpose than your own self. When I say a bigger purpose than my own self, I'm not talking about purely income, money, revenue, and all that. You have a bigger purpose to serve, right? Like along my soul searching period, I get to understand that I'm helping my clients to define their wow factor,
Right.
and actually transform life through the power of branding. Okay, because I've seen a lot of cases, me included, we tend to lose out to people who have maybe less qualification, less experience, but with better presence per se. They know how to present themselves well. They know how to carry themselves well, and you tend to lose out to them. And I've seen so many of my clients facing the similar challenges. So, but when you define a clear purpose of your own self, then you will have no stopping. Okay, you will know that this is what I need to do. This is what needs to be getting done. So you will go all in doing that. So I would say that, okay, number one, have a bigger purpose than your own self. Other than making a living out of it, what kind of differences or changes you can make in people's life? Okay, so that's number one. Number two is knowing who to serve. Okay, who exactly is your profitable niche? Don't become, don't take out an M16 and try to shoot everyone and hope you can maybe tembak and kena one or two, right? But instead be a sniper. Okay, be a sniper. You take the high ground. Okay, when people come, you will know, this is the right. Then I take one shot. Okay, I hit my target. Okay, so have a clear, distinctive idea of who you are and who you can attract to you, and how you can give different values towards the same audience. And thirdly, always remember yourself every single day. You don't only have one billboard on the highway. You have 5, 6, 7 of it. Okay, so you have your Facebook, you have your LinkedIn, you have your Instagram, you have your YouTube, WhatsApp. What is it that you can utilize every single day to create that impression? I'm always ready to serve you.
Right.
Okay? When you have problems, I hope that I'm the first name that pops up. Then you will come to me. And rest assured, all this, you can do it with a very minimum budget or even free, because your social media is all under your control.
Right. That's right.
Right. So use it well, and then don't leave your billboards empty. Yeah? When people pass by, nothing to see. When people pass by, nothing to see. This is also telling people something. You are also communicating something with people.
Right.
Yeah. So these are the things that I think every single one should be doing.
Yes.
Without me telling about you already, because this is so this is essential already.
Oh, that's lovely. Yeah, honestly, that's a very holistic representation of branding, right? That's why, as I mentioned, I'm completely blown away at how you take branding very differently and how it is then reflected in the way you have shared with us as well. I'm really, really honored. It's an absolute pleasure today. It leaves me thinking as well. These questions that you put out, I'm already thinking about it. So I'm sure that the advisors and leaders are also thinking about that. But we're already looking to connect with you soon again.